So I'm making videos on how to study, but one of the biggest problems is that a lot of people I coach have the same bias. I think it's called a negativity bias, I'm not sure. But they look at hands through this negative mindset. They think about all the negative things that can happen first and not even about the positive things at all. So you might be one of these people. The typical hand people do this with is ace king, because they don't want to three bet the pre-flop, and then because if they bet the flop and then they get called and then they feel like they lose, or even just after they three bet, they say, oh, I don't want to c bet because if he calls then I lose, or I have to check fold the turn. And then I ask them, what are other ways this hand can play out? Well, think about the positive ways this hand can play out. And then they name spots like, well, I could c bet and they could fold. I could c bet and they could call. An ace and a king, ace or king could come. I could c bet and they could check. I could check turn and they could check, and I could show down my ace high and win, or hit an ace or a king. I can c bet, check turn, and perhaps call a river bet, turn bet. I can c bet, check, and perhaps he bets kind of small on the turn, making my life easy. So there are plenty ways there are plenty good outcomes to hands, and when you are just focused on the negative, you aren't going to properly learn. And this goes into bluffing as well. A lot of people think the bluffs they make don't work, and then I show them what actually happens when they bluff. I'll go to PT4 and look at what happens when they bet river, and we'll look at every hand. It's just like fold, 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 and then call when someone has the top of their range or something like that. So as a practice for you guys to kind of get better, start thinking about, if this resonates with you, if this is something that you think you do, try looking at hands and thinking about the positive things that can happen first. And try going over all your bluffs like I talked about in the PT4 how to study. Go over all your river bluffs that you think don't work, or your check raises that you think don't work on dry boards, and see what actually happens. And I expect you get way more folds than you think you do. Peace.